What is going on, my Atomic Autoworks friends? So, I've been thinking, when you go to a paint store to buy paint now, it's so confusing because there's so many different brands out there. It's overwhelming. There's like a million new suppliers or manufacturers, and some of the manufacturers have opened up so many. Holy cow, it's echoing here. Let me change that. All right, let's see. Yeah, that helped with the echo a little bit, opening up the door. So, even when you've been doing this your entire life, it's difficult to know what good products are to use, especially when you're doing it at home. And let's face it, most people at home aren't buying the top end paints and clear coats. They want a nice looking job. They don't want to take that chance of spending too much money. But it's hard to know what paint's good and what's not. And you'll hear everybody say. And I'm going to tell you a funny story about something that just happened to us. And it kind of, let me just tell you. So about a year ago, 8 months ago, we had a salesperson come in, and the salesperson was like a salesperson, right? They're kind of douchey. Like, he comes in and says stuff like, I don't want to get you in bed, and I just want to take you out to dinner, that type of stuff, which usually just drives me crazy. So luckily we parted ways, he moved on, came back again, same type of attitude. This time a little worse, started doing, in business, we're not like politicians, so you're not supposed to slam your competitors. It's just not professional. So he starts slamming all his competitors, and I'm just like not big on that because I'm friends with a lot of the people, and it's tough. It's tough when you know a lot of people in this business because a lot of paint systems are equally as good, and it's just, you get boiled down to how good the suppliers are and how good the people that you deal with are, and your network is everything to you. So a lot of times salespeople will come in, or they'll say, why aren't you buying from us? And you feel bad because you're like, they're good people, they have great product, but you also don't want to ruin a relationship that you've built with someone for many, many years, and people who really take care of you. With that said, I know a lot of the people in the business. I've been doing this since I was 17 years old, 16 years old. And when you talk poorly about people that I know are good people, it's not good. And say derogative comments about these people, and even bringing their personal life into it, which is nobody's business, it just doesn't vet well with me. But we had a problem. We don't have any suppliers that are open on the weekends, right? I figured if I could get this Jeep painted, Louis could get it together, we could get it to the customer faster so they're happy, because they're a little upset because a couple of the parts took a while to get in. As usual, that's kind of the common thing now. There's always these one or two parts that hang up. And actually what's funny, if you watch one of our motorcycle videos that's coming up right around the same time as this video is airing, we kind of go through the process where we started a video. We ordered thread that we needed, this custom thread to make a motorcycle seat, which is right in New York. He always ships it the same day or the next day, so we always have it in 1 or 2 days. But I forgot that if you just order one spool of thread, he'll throw it through the post office instead of UPS. And normally we order a bunch, but I just needed this one and I needed it quick. Ironically, we didn't get it quick. So we actually have the tracking of it through USPS. So it left him the same day, I believe, that we ordered it, which is fantastic, and then went through this process where it went from New York to Springfield, which is 40 minutes away from us, so you would think it would be here the next day. Then it went to Maryland, then it went to North Carolina. It went all over the place. So if you watch that video, you'll see the actual tracking of it and the kind of comicalness of it. I don't know, that's not even a word. But anyways, back to this one. So it's the weekend, we needed stuff. So I asked the guy, I said, listen, I'm in a pinch. This is our paint code. How much is it for your paint? And you said you're open Saturdays. That's true. Yes, and says, great, I'll meet you up there. Being a very good salesperson, very attentive salesperson. So he sends me a price on it. Price was very, very fair and comparable to what we were purchasing our lower end paints from for dealer work and used car vehicles, because it's totally different than our custom and high end work. So we went up and we purchased the paint. And I said, you know what? Would it be great to do a video, actual videos on actual products that you could get at home, because you're going to be spending money on these things, and show you how it works in this environment, and not doing it overly over the top, because we know you're not, if you're a giant auto body shop and you have state-of-the-art spray booths and temperature control, climate control, all that stuff, it's easier to have a good outcome on your paint jobs than it is for average Joe in their garage. So there's stuff you're gonna have to deal with that they don't have to deal with. And I would say 99% of most new products are designed for a collision industry where you get the vehicles in and out fast. You're not looking for super longevity. You're looking for it to look good, quickly, dry fast, and get out the door, because production, time is money, and they want it in and out. They want to put it on, dry fast, and get it out. Brings us, it doesn't help you and I, doesn't help you in your garage trying to build a car, because you don't want to buy a clear coat and spend $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 on a really high grade clear coat for production, put it on your car, know you're gonna have to sand and buff this thing and have it lock up so hard you can't sand and buff it. Or vice versa. If you're trying to get this car done, you just wanna speed clear, you wanna be able to make sure this thing's done at the end of the day and you could drive it out on your hot date, you wanna use a speed clear that's gonna dry really fast and hard, and so you can move on. So there's a lot of different chemicals and products for a lot of different reasons, and we're gonna I wanna bring you through and show you that, and we're gonna start with this one here. So this one here, actually hold on a second, I forgot the name of the paint. All right, so this is the paint they gave us, which is Gen Max, Gen Max. I think he said it was made by Lucid. Yeah, Lucid makes the paint, and then they gave us this reducer, which was just straight up reducer. It says poured off, which did leak all over my car, so that was a little upsetting. Let me actually put it down. And I wanna, we're doing this apples to apples in reality. So brand new bumper, brand new fender, and brand new hood, right? So we're not going over stuff. So the process that we do is different for metal, plastic, and all that, and it's different from used cars to restoration and new cars. This one here, we go through, we clean it, sand the whole bumper down, get it really good, the brand new plastic. We put plastic primer, which is basically like an adhesion promoter over it. Then I went and did a sealer on all of them, and then we did 4 coats of base coat, because didn't seem like it was covering well in certain spots, but it wasn't really an issue with the paint. The paint was a little thicker, seemed to go on all right. Base coat did. And then I was gonna use the PPG, what the heck's it called? 300 SC, I think it is. Clear coat on it, because I want to experiment with that. But what I'm gonna do with that is we're gonna do some test things. We're gonna put them outside and we're gonna leave it for a long time to see how good it holds up. And we're only gonna use that on our really low end auction cars for dealers that have to just get cheap and out the door. So I decided, because this is an actual customer, even though it's not a high end job, we would use our 4-to-1 Valorem clear coat from Axel Nobel, which is actually a very nice clear coat for what it is, price-wise. It's exceptional. I really don't know the longevity, because we've only been using this product for about 2 years, but we have 0 issues so far, 0. So I know our tech rep from LKQ says clear coats are clear coats, and a lot of that's true. Every company makes a good product. Very rarely do you have something fail, because failing usually comes from mixing something wrong, or not prepping something right, or just not sanding. It's almost always user error when it comes to issues. So that's one thing you get to look forward to when you're building your car. If there's a problem, you can only blame yourself, because odds are it's not the products that you're using, unless you get open cans. That kind of freaks me out a lot of times when you have cans that are open or mixed or weird. But anyway, with this one, another part of it was the color match, which is you never do panel to panel. That's where you paint this off and put it right on, because you have a door that's one color, and then you have your new fender that you're putting on there. It's almost a 99% probability that when you put them two together, maybe 99.8, that when you put them together, there's going to be a color variation and it's not going to match perfectly. That's why what you're supposed to do is sand the door, blend your base coat into the door, sand the other fender, blend your base coat into the fender, clear coat both of them, and then you have a color that melts in together, and it's impossible to see where they're off, because even if they're a little off, it could look catastrophic. What I was told by the salesperson from this company is that bring it up, bring a panel with you. I had the paint code, we already scanned it. When we scan it, what's nice is if we go to one of our suppliers, we can give them our scan and it'll mix it up based off of the camera shot that we took. So we have a camera that takes a picture of the car, and then that one brings up a code, and then it gives you like different options of what's the best match. And then usually you would take that and you do a spray out, where you take a test panel, spray it, you'd match it up, and you tint it, and you go back and forth till you get the right color. But when you're dealing with jobbers and suppliers, you usually can't do that. So you'll usually give them the code and they mix up a paint. Some of these colors could have 80 variations that are all close but different. So it's really Russian roulette if you do it that way. This salesperson said, bring your panel up, right? So we grabbed the fender here. So bring a panel up. Our guys are gonna buff it, sand it. He said they're super excited to do what they do. They're gonna take a camera shot of it. They're gonna tint that, mix the paint, tint it, make sure it's right for you so you have the best possible color match that you're gonna have. That didn't really happen. So it turns out that the price he had quoted us, they said was wrong. So they kind of got in a little bit of a tiff between the salespeople and the people working the counter, because they wanted to charge almost double what we were, not double, but quite a bit more than what he had quoted us. But I did give him the paint code and said, this is exactly what we need. So you should be able to come up, take the 2 seconds to look at the paint code and actually call up and get the price on it, so you're not BSing a customer. Or when we show up, you're not looking like uncomfortable. It makes you feel uncomfortable when you see people arguing about prices and things like that. I didn't see anybody scan this. There was like a 20-second thing where I was doing something else where he was showing me some cups or something like that, but I didn't see anywhere this was buffed or scanned. So I'm assuming they just took our paint code and just went straight off of that. So I'm going to show you the color match. Let me bring you over here. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try to show you the color match. This isn't obviously polished, but so when you look there, you could definitely see the color is a little darker. They're ruby red, like the metallics are actually a little nicer in the paint that we just got. But this also isn't buffed out here, so it could be a little darker. So all in all, the color match really isn't bad. One thing I forgot to mention is you'll see us using our True Lights quite a bit. And I ended up buying these ones off of Amazon. We had some very expensive ones, one broke and we needed them. And we got these like really quick. And we want to go through and show you, oh, that's a little thing there. I haven't used this, I've been using this one. So if you like, we have the Scan Grip one and we also have the Astro one. Very affordable. I'll put links in the description if you're interested in these. These are something anybody can purchase at home. You don't need to be a collision shop and spend big bucks on the big ones, because these will really work and they help you out when you're doing color matching and all that. All right, so all in all, you can see here that you could base your own opinion on what you're content with and what you're happy with, and if it's good enough for you in your garage or at home. Now, what I could say is, with this base coat here, if I blended it into the door and into the fender, there's no way you would ever see the difference in it. So color-wise, I don't see any issues with this. You know, I could see a professional shop using this in their shop. The only question you would have is it going to peel, anything like that down the road? And you don't know, because base coat's base coat. If it looks good, it looks good. All it has to do is bite, look good, and not fade out and just dissolve away. I hope that these new videos help. So if you're doing stuff at your house or in your garage and you want to just have something decent and have something nice without going too crazy, then we're going to go over all these products and show you all these different things. Oh, and I almost forgot. So on this one, I sprayed our base coat with my Iwata base gun. I don't know why I could never remember. I've used this gun for 20 years. Yeah, oh, LPH 400. Not even close. Yeah, I'm like doing tech advice here and showing your products, and then I don't even know what gun we're using. So I use that for our base coat. That's always been my go-to for a base coat. I love that gun, but we will be trying other guns, just like I've been using the Iwata Supernova Evo for a long time, and that's like my favorite gun for clear coating. But we went and tried out the Walcon Carborundum, the carbon fiber gun. When we did our review, I didn't adjust something properly and it wouldn't spray. It was like shit, and we had a bad experience that turned into a good experience, because now I actually enjoy clear coating with that gun. The only thing you'll see is it does put off massive amounts of overspray, and this boot that we have doesn't vent that well, so it has a tendency to put a little bit too much air in there. But we are planning on upgrading this booth and also eventually getting a really nice booth in the future, which would change that. But I figure now it kind of fits, because if you're at home, doing it at home, you're not going to have the best of the best or the state of the art, but you can, when you're done, get that finish. You could actually have something that looks nice, that you're proud of, that is respectable. So if this helps, if you like these videos and you want to see more, please remember, like, share, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, tell a friend. I really appreciate it when you do that. It really helps our channel to grow. And if you're into motorcycles, remember to check out Atomic Cycle Works on YouTube as well, because that's all about motorcycles. Thank you.